Welcome back, everyone. In today's video we're going to talk about creating composite stock photos that has a high potential of selling. And if you saw the thumbnail, that's basically the image that we're going to create today. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on my desktop. So to follow along, you're going to need 3 images. I'm going to use this photo of an American flag that I created a while ago. This is a color accurate and dimensionally accurate depiction of the American flag. If you want to know how to create that, just let me know in the comment section below and I'll make a video or respond to the comment. Alright, so you're going to need a flag. You're going to need some type of texture. I just took this photo of like a white sheet and that will work, and some type of currency. It could be paper or coins. All right, so we're going to combine all of those images and create something new that's submittable to the stock agencies and something that you can reuse over and over again. And that's where the potential for high sales comes in. All right, so let's open up all of these images in Photoshop. All right, so I guess if you're using like an actual image of a flag, you don't need this texture layer. But I created this image, so I'm gonna overlay it onto the texture and give it, a real flag type look, so it doesn't look so artificial, which it is, but we don't want that look. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unlock this layer by double clicking it. Okay, then I'm gonna do Control C to copy the layer and then Control V to paste it. I'm gonna adjust the sizing and move the wrinkles where I want them to be. So that looks good. And I'm gonna make a copy. Let's rename these layers. Flag. And texture. All right, I'm gonna make a copy of the flag layer. Control J. I'm gonna move that on top. All right, and I'm gonna open up the liquefy area. And let's see, I want to show the backdrop because I want to be able to see the wrinkles. And here I'm gonna choose use the texture layer. And there you can see the texture underneath. I'm just gonna reduce the opacity a little. And what I want to do here is I want to essentially warp the flag layer to conform to these wrinkles. Not entirely, just a little bit. So I'm going to do that now. All you got to do is just, use the forward warp tool to push and pull the areas that you want to move. So what areas should you move? So basically we know that the dark areas are lower than the lighter areas. So for example, in this section here, I want this part to go down and I want this part here to come up. So this part would go down and this would come up. And you just go around the image and do that for the entirety or for as much as you want to. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll fast forward so I don't bore you guys. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do. If you think you've overdone it, you can just come to the reconstruct tool and you can just, this is like an undo on a slider, so you can just slide and stop at wherever you want. I'm okay with the results I had before. We're gonna click OK, and I mean, it doesn't look right at this moment, but as soon as we change the blend mode, it's gonna make all the difference. So we're gonna use linear burn for this one, and boom, it already looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good already. So then we're going to double click on this layer, open up the blend if or the layer style dialog, and we're going to come down to the blend if section. We're just going to mess around with the underlying layer and see what we get here. This is not a science, it's an art form, so there's no right or wrong. You just do whatever looks good to you. And I'm okay with that. I will use that. So yeah, those ripples look really good actually. Alright, so I'm going to open up the curves layer. And I want to adjust the brightness of this a little. That's good. Opacity, let's see. Alright, let's go back on the flag layer, and we're gonna lower this a little so it's I'm holding down the option key to split that apart so it's more precise. And there, I like it a little less saturated. I mean, it's not saturated, the opacity is just lowered so it looks saturated because the underlying layer is lighter. Alright, so that's that for the flag portion of it. So now we're gonna come over to the currency. So this could be coins or paper money like I have here. Unlock the layer by double clicking, and Control C to copy, Control V to paste, and we're going to resize to something of our liking. And that looks good. And without wasting too much time, I'm going to throw a mask on it, a layer mask. And then while I'm on that layer mask, I'm going to come over to the gradient tool, click this little drop down, make sure I have the basic panel, and click the black to white gradient. And then we're just going to drag so that it blends in. And that's looking good. And boom, that's essentially done right now. But we're gonna put some words on top of it. And this is where, like I was saying before, this is where the versatility comes in. Because you can put, anything on here. And, it will show it will show America and the money. So it'll be a conceptual image about money and America, and then whatever words you put on top of that. So for example, in this one, I'm gonna put economy, and boom, we have money and we have the American flag. It symbolizes the American economy. You can put anything you want on that. You could put the word COVID-19 and it would symbolize, for example, the economic cost of COVID-19, the financial cost of COVID-19 in America, or whatever flag you put underneath that. So if you're so inclined, you could do this for all, 195 countries in the world. And I guarantee, well, I can't guarantee, but it's highly likely one of those would sell. All right, so let's get to it. So let's see. I'm going to create a solid color layer. I'm going to make it black, and then I'm going to reduce the opacity all the way down because I'm going to put a white text above this and I want it to really stand out. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna come over to the text tool. I'm gonna type economy. Done. Go over to the transform tool, where you can just hit the letter V. We're gonna resize. That looks good. Let's make sure it's centered. Now let's make sure it's centered. There we go. That's centered. But you know, this looks good and we can stop here, but for me, it seems incomplete. So I'm gonna go further and do a few more extra steps. The first thing I'm gonna do is put a drop shadow on the word. So double click the layer, open up the layer styles, and hit drop shadow. And here we can play with the distance, the spread, the size, and yeah, that looks good for me. I'm gonna click OK. All right. And once again, we could stop here, but I will not. I will keep going. So I want to make like a little graph, line graph in the word economy, and see how that works out. So for that, we're gonna come over to the pen tool, and we're just gonna click around to create like a graph. I'll speed through this, of course. There. And then you want to close it off by coming back to the start. And okay. Then we're going to create a new layer. Right click over here. We're going to go to fill path. And we can choose any color at this point, because we're going to change it later in the layer styles. And let's see, let's get out of this pen tool, make selection. I'm sure there's an easier way, and then Control D. All right, so let's go over to the layer style. We're gonna double click on the layer, and we're gonna do color overlay. Select our color. You wanna choose something that stands out from the background. You don't want the word to blend in with the background, because when it's small, you know, when it's on the stock agencies and people are looking for photos, if they can't see the word in the thumbnail, they're going to move past and go to something else. So you want your word to stand out. That's good there. I guess I chose green because that could symbolize that the economy is doing good. Yeah, color science, I guess, or color psychology. Let's do a greener green. Yeah, that's good there. Press OK. And now I want to clip this layer to the word. So I hold down the Option key and then come between the layers until I get that little down arrow with a box and click. There we go. So now that's in the word. And I want to do something that I think will look cool here is I'm going to duplicate this. I'm just going to drag it down to this plus sign. Hit the V tool to move. I'm going to move it down a little. Double click. Go over to the color and change the color to a darker shade. Press OK, OK again. Play around with it just a little. Good. I'm going to do that one more time and choose a darker shade still. And press OK, OK. And close all of these. New layer. And there we have it. So that's, yeah, I really like that. And it's versatile in the sense that you can put any word you want on here. So even right now, I can change this to gas price. And we can submit that to the stock agencies. You don't want to submit too many of the same image with just changing the word, because they'll start rejecting you for similar content, because they know that designers can put their own words on it. So if you're going to submit a lot of these, either you change up the background a little. Change up the background a little. I mean, you could probably get away with submitting, maybe 20 or so, maybe not, maybe a decent amount with some different words on it before they start saying it's too similar to your previous contents. So that's it, guys. Let me full screen this. Let's see. Let's change it back to economy. All right, let's go to full screen. Yeah, I really like that. All right, so that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you got anything from the video, please subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss a video, and hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I'll be doing a lot more like this, so there's a lot more to come. Until next time.